Hey traders, Luke from Breakout Trading here. We had a very good day, up around $830 and 28 cents or something like that. Um, but what was interesting and what I just want to point out right from the get-go is let's take a look at the top stocks of the day. Um, the biggest gainer on the New York Stock Exchange is UVXY. Okay. The biggest gainer on the NASDAQ is FFHL. All right. And NASDAQ, the TVIX is not far behind on biggest gainers, followed by, and it's the most active on the NASDAQ. So that was our three text alerts today, which is pretty incredible. It was UVXY, TVIX, and FFHL. Okay. And then we actually texted C Black, but then canceled it once we read into the news report that it was just it got bought out at that level, and that's why it was at that level. And it never got filled. It was a no fill. It never went down and met its limit, and it was canceled. So there's really only three text alerts today, and that was FFHL entry point 330. That's when I got in, was around 330, or stop buy over 388. Stop loss 23 cents. Targets 40 to 80 cents. Hopefully you went for that 80-cent target. Well, 40 cents is your partial, 80 cents is your final target because this thing took off right at the gate. It was at about, it dropped down just enough to 323 or something like that, just about to that level, 326, just enough to fill your 330 limit, and then it just took off from there. So perfect play, perfect text alert. I should have put that as my pick of the day, but my true pick of the day, this next is C Black, which I ended up canceling. As you can say, C Black did not reach its target. Do not buy. That was a canceled order. You wouldn't have filled anyway because it didn't move. It stayed right at 26. Next was UVXY calls. I said buy smaller calls. I want to get bulk of smaller calls than just fewer of larger calls. And I wanted it that way because I knew today was going to be a day where there would be some selling off little by little. Rather than just buying two big calls and then selling them at once, you buy 10 smaller calls. The delta actually ends up adding up to about the same, and then you can sell off little by little. So UVXY calls, that was at 940, which this is where things got funny, and this is why the title says two comebacks too many, because yesterday we had a similar situation. I got myself in a bit of a hole, uh, but yesterday was an error. Today was I got myself in a hole trying to dig myself out. Um, so two holes too many. It's got me worried that this could eventually turn into a habit, and it's not a habit you want to get into, getting into a hole and then digging yourself out. I like to take off at the gate, which is kind of what I did. Um, and then obviously next was TVIX 1780 entry. This thing went all the way to $20 today. This thing killed it. And that's where most of the money came from today. Uh, and that's really it. If you were in G options, I said sell them today. The market's not looking too good. All the tweets, everything was just incredible. I myself, I did get into the FFHL, but I got in very light. I got in just to get in, um, and small profit, $30 profit. GE was a loss. OPTT, I got out right away. I realized it was junk, but FFHL was beautiful. Just it was my pick this morning for so many reasons. Not only that it was the biggest gainer of the day, it just met all facets of the five finger strategy. You know, it was between 90 cents and $12. Here, let me pull up FF. What is it? What is it? Pre-market. And another reason I didn't catch it right away is because it didn't show up on this scanner. Because it didn't fit the what do you call it? It didn't fit the algorithm. That's currently set at FFHL. Yeah. So FFHL just took off. It just killed it. So what about it turned me on? Well, so much. First of all, the float. Look at that float. Low float. The volume way was definitely I forgot what it was, but it was definitely more than 1/10 of the float. I mean, look how low that float is. The volume right now is about 10 times the float. So in terms of everything on the five finger strategy, FFHL, I want to just pull up that one thing. There we go. FFHL, between 90 cents and $12, it was up more than 15% in the pre-market. Its float was less than 40 million by a lot. Volume was at least 10% of the float, and stock must be up for a good reason, i.e., good news or earnings. This stock was up on earnings. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So then you see plus the kicker. Stocks meet the five finger strategy all the time. There's got to be a kicker. There's got to be something that makes it stand out. So that's where the stock has to have incredible news. Now, I believe this stock, even with the earnings, I could be wrong here because it's been a long day. My memory is a little warped. But I believe that this stock also had news, or am I wrong? No, I believe it was just it had good earnings and that was it. So it really didn't meet that one having incredible news. It just had good earnings, really good earnings. Incredible news consists of M&As, phase 3 drug passings, positive results on drug piles and drug trials and large business deals. The technicals on the stock were incredible. It was way extended above the R2. That's why I called the limit at the pullback of 330 because I wanted it. I will show you. It'll be easier. Okay, so FFHL. Okay. So yeah, you could see that that is freaking ridiculous, but it had amazing technicals in the fact that it just popped above the 52-week high in the pre-market. So that I loved. Okay, then on top of that, the R2 is at about 240, and at the open it was like maybe 80, 60 cents above that. So actually, it was about 80 cents above that, or 90 cents above 240. So I figured there would be some kind of pullback because it was very extended, and I called 230 just kind of out of where the 52-week high was. I said maybe it'll go a little below that because it kept tapping it in the pre-market. So that's where I called that level, and in case that level failed, right, and it didn't catch that level on the pull down, I also had 388, I believe it was, as the stop buy order in case that one failed. So you definitely would have got filled on this either way. It went to the moon. It was just a beautiful stock. It met all the facets of the five finger strategy. It had amazing technicals, and it wasn't on the Nasdaq's most advanced list that morning, but it should have been. All right. That was that one. It was a great stock, great pick, loved it. So now let's move on to UVXY and the markets, and this was just crazy. I was not a happy camper this morning. So this morning, if you remember, let me turn off Ichimoku real quick. All right, so if this morning markets were up, and then we got that news from China that they were going to put 5 to 10% tariffs on $75 billion worth of American goods. So I'm thinking, okay, today is bearish. The second I see any sign of bearishness right here, I'm going in and I'm going in hard. So that's kind of what I did. And that's around about when I sent these text alerts out to buy TVIX and buy UVXY. Well, long story short, I was down about 6 grand in this account. And I didn't wait for it to go down 6 grand. I was down like one, and then I thought I saw what might be a reversal and got back in, and then boom, it popped up more and popped up. Next thing I know, I'm down 6 grand. I played every correction on this pull up, and just to have it reverse on me really quick. But thanks be to Donald Trump, the tariff king, comes out with that crazy tariff telling companies, you know what, you cannot buy from China. Start setting up your business to not buy from China. And let me tell you from experience, that is impossible for certain businesses to not get their products from China. It is impossible. Certain things are not made in China. From anything from little I'm with stupid t-shirts to, serious medical equipment that saves people's lives is made in China. So it's just a stupid demand. It's not going to happen, but it scared the market enough to do this drop. I held all my calls. I stomached all my calls. If you look at my UVXY calls, target will be announced. I hope everybody stomached with me on that one, because all these calls that, first of all these calls here that I sold for a profit, they were down like 300 each. Like this account was down a lot as well. Really stomaching it and just waiting for the reversal. I just felt the reversal coming. I knew something was going to happen. I really honestly thought it was going to be in terms of Donald Trump. I said Donald Trump is going to do something. Okay, we just got punched back by China, and he did something. So, but I am a little disappointed in myself for holding that long. Even though it turned into a profit, I took a lot of risk today. A lot of risk that could have really hurt, in the long run. I could have lost all my gains for the entire week today and just traded for no reason. But I ended up making them back like ridiculously quick. The market just shot up and took profit and ended the day up around 8:30 and could potentially still trade. And I think the Dow is going to end down around 800 points. It's down around 600 right now. Um, so you know what? We might stay at this level. Who knows? There's 2 more hours to go, and there's a lot more potential. But I just dug myself out of a hole, and I'm going to change my plan. From now on, stop losses in this account. This is a 160, almost $170,000 account now. I cannot no longer take a stop loss. I can't let my stop loss go more than 500. And I cannot take a loss of more than 2,000 in a day. If I see a loss of 2,000 in a day, I have to stop. Because today I got lucky. Flat, plain and simple. I can't say anything other than I was hoping for Donald Trump to do something stupid or some news to come up to reverse the market, and it happened. I also believed in the technicals as well. We did hit the top of the channel yesterday, which is a very pivotal level. And so I know that the market was supposed to be in a down slope. So there were technicals to it, there was a lot of hope to it, and it was just not the right way to play. Um, so I'm going to put those limits on myself, and it's good to have limits like that. But overall, great day. Uh, we got the World Series, the Tradenet World Series coming up. Join Team Breakout Trading, uh, and you can get in our group for free. You will end up getting amazing text alerts like the 3 from today. FFHL, this is a no fill, and then UVXY calls and TVX were just amazing calls. Like you couldn't have had a better Friday or better picks. You definitely had a knot in your stomach at one point in the day, but it turned around for the better. And that's really it. And like it says in the picture on YouTube, want to go out on the boat today, but weather's kind of crappy, so just gonna relax for the rest of the day. Today could have been a very crappy day, but it turned around. And again, like I said, I'm gonna make sure that does not happen in the future. Um, Lessons learned without having to learn the lesson, and that's why I said 2 comebacks too many. No more comeback. No more comeback trading. This is beautiful. Like this chart is just amazing, incredible. I figured that this is how the day was going to open anyway, but we had that weird. The pop looks so small because the drop is so massive, but this pop was actually pretty big, and it really mostly stemmed at around 10 o'clock when the Fed said whatever the Fed said. And what's funny is what he said was neither good nor bad, but it's all about how the market interprets it. And there's this weird phenomenon I read in a Barron's article about how the market has been interpreting good news as bad news and pulling the market back, and vice versa. And a lot of that has to do with the algorithmic trading. Those are computers, not humans. They don't operate on emotion. They trade off algorithms and math and off what everybody else does. So, other than that, I am done for the day. Breakout traders, you are the best. Breakout trading and breakout traders, I am out.